Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're looking into a story that's, well, deeply unsettling. It's about friendship, trust, and ultimately a horrifying betrayal. We're talking about the disappearance of 19-year-old Sarah Stern from New Jersey back in 2016. Our information for this deep dive, it comes from a really detailed account, actually YouTube video transcript, that lays out this shocking chain of events. And what we want to do is understand how what started as a missing persons case just spiraled into this awful story of murder, all connected to, believe it or not, a hidden inheritance. It really gets into the psychology of greed and how the truth, no matter how hidden, it finds a way out. So get ready, there's some surprising facts here that might make you really question what's going on beneath the surface sometimes. Okay, picture this. It's super early Saturday morning, December 3rd, 2016, like 3 a.m., cold, quiet. And there's this car, a 1994 Oldsmobile, just abandoned on the Charles River Bridge in Belmore, New Jersey. Keys right there in the ignition, no driver, just sitting there. Middle of the bridge. It feels almost deliberate.
Right. And from an investigation standpoint, that's immediately weird. No accident, just parked there mid-span. That's not a breakdown situation. It screams deliberate action. Maybe staged suicide, maybe something else entirely. It's a huge red flag before they even know who the car belongs to.
Exactly. And pretty quickly, the police figure out the owner is 19-year-old Sarah Stern. The car wasn't technically hers, it was her grandmother's, but she drove it every day. But Sarah herself, gone. They try calling her phone, straight to voicemail, nobody knows where she is. So who was Sarah Stern? What do we know about her? Born March 24, 1997. People described her as, really lively, adventurous. She was athletic in high school, seemed well-liked, lots of friends. And she was right on the verge of a big life change, too.
Yeah, and her background is important here for context. Middle-class family, father Michael, mother Kara. But there was a big loss. Her mother, Kara, had died from cancer back in 2013. That kind of loss, especially for a young person, it's significant. It's something investigators would definitely note.
Right. And her mom, Kara, she sounds like quite a person, owned a bookstore, member of the American Booksellers Association for 25 years, loved to travel. So there were some family assets, maybe an inheritance involved. And after her mom died, Sarah really seemed to hold on to her memory. She stayed in their old house, drove her mom's car, the one on the bridge, even wore her clothes sometimes, trying to keep her close, And she had this beagle, Buddy, who was apparently always with her. Plus, this big plan, moving to Canada to study art. Her dad was hesitant at first, worried about her being alone, but he eventually came around. She was literally packed up, ready to go. So her dad, he's actually on vacation in Florida when he gets the news. He rushes home immediately. And what he finds, it's just awful. Buddy, the dog, locked in his cage, looking really thin, like he hadn't been cared for in days, and all of Sarah's packed boxes. Still there, her passport, social security card, all the important stuff.
Okay, finding the passport and social security info, that's critical. It really makes the whole ran away to Canada theory look weak. You don't leave those things behind if you're planning to cross the border. It strongly suggests her departure wasn't planned, at least not by her. Points more towards foul play.
Definitely. Police start talking to neighbors, like the Dubois family. They were apparently like a second family to Sarah. They confirmed Sarah had asked to store some of her mom's things with them while she was away, which again, sounds like she planned on coming back. And Robin Dubois mentioned Sarah always let her know if she was going out late, but not this time. The Dubois family actually suggested police talk to Liam McAtasney. He was one of Sarah's oldest friends, been helping her get ready for the move. Liam McAtasney. Him and his twin brother, they'd known Sarah since first grade. Grew up just a block away, sounds like. Did everything together, camping, biking. So police bring him in. And right away, he denies Sarah was even at his place the day she disappeared.
That initial denial, especially from such a close childhood friend, that immediately raises eyebrows for investigators. He set a timeline, though. Said he last saw her December 2nd, the day before the car was found, around noon. Said they went to Taco Bell, then he went to work at 4 p.m., That specific timeline becomes really important later.
Yeah, it does. Liam also mentioned that Sarah was supposedly upset, said she'd had a big fight with her dad about the Canada move. He painted this picture of her dad being crazy, neglecting her, maybe seeing someone new. Suggested Sarah was still really down about her mom, always talking about her, wearing her clothes, driving the car. But the police, they're not getting much traction. The CCTV on the bridge, broken, useless. There's some surveillance near her house showing her car leaving around 11 p.m. that night, but that's it. No idea where she went. So theories are flying. Suicide, abduction, murder. Nobody knows. They launched this massive search. Over 100 volunteers, divers, her dad out there searching too. But nothing. No body, no clues. Just nothing. Must have been agonizing. Okay, so the investigation grinds on. Police decide to re-interview the inner circle. Liam, his twin Shay, another close friend, Preston Taylor, they knew him since middle school. And he was actually Liam's roommate at college, and another friend, Carly Daper. They all stick to this story. They don't know where Sarah is.
But Carly Daper adds something really poignant. He insists Sarah would never, ever leave her dog Buddy without making arrangements for his care. And that's not just a small detail. It speaks directly to Sarah's character. It hammers home how out of character this whole disappearance was, pushing investigators even further away from the runaway idea.
Good point. So when they talk to Liam and Preston again, remember, they're roommates. They double down on the story about Sarah being stressed, suicidal, upset with her dad. But here's where things get weird. Liam's whole attitude, it changed. He was cooperative at first, but now he's clammed up. His mom even hires a lawyer for him, tells him not to talk much. And Preston, he seems super nervous. His voice is apparently trembling, clearly hiding something.
That shift is a huge signal. Going from cooperative friend to needing a lawyer and getting nervous, that tells investigators they might be moving from witnesses to suspects. It strongly suggests they know more than they're saying, maybe trying to cover something up. The focus definitely narrows onto them at this point.
And then, boom, a major break comes from Turney Bank. Bank officials call the police. They say on December 2nd, 2016, the day she vanished, Sarah came into the bank around 2 or 3 p.m. And she wasn't alone. The man with her, Liam McAtasney. And Sarah withdrew a lot of cash from her mom's inheritance. Old bills, apparently. Some were even tattered, stuff she'd found in like a treasure chest at her mom's old vacation place. Liam had never mentioned this bank visit. He claimed he last saw her way earlier that day.
Wow, okay. Deliberately omitting that kind of interaction, especially a major cash withdrawal right before she disappears, that's not just being a person of interest anymore. That elevates him straight to prime suspect territory. It's a clear attempt to mislead, to hide something directly tied to her last known movements, and potentially a motive.
Exactly. So fast forward a bit. It's January 2017 now, about a month after Sarah disappeared. And this guy, Anthony Curry, contacts the police. He used to be friends with Liam, Sarah, and Preston. He was into filmmaking and music, bonded with Liam over that stuff.
And what Anthony Curry brings forward is just chilling. It shows how these seemingly casual, almost throwaway conversations can hide something incredibly dark. He tells the police that back around Thanksgiving, maybe a week before Sarah went missing, Liam had pitched him this idea, a film idea. But Liam described it with this weird excitement, said the idea was about strangling Sarah and throwing her body off a bridge. Anthony thought it was just, dark humor or morbid fiction at the time, but the details were disturbingly specific.
Unbelievable. And the details Liam shared in this film idea, they matched what actually happened with Sarah's disappearance almost perfectly. After she vanished, Liam even sent Anthony these cryptic texts about their film project. So now Anthony's putting it all together, suspecting the absolute worst. So the police come up with a plan. Anthony agrees to wear a wire, meet up with Liam. This is January 31st, 2017. Liam shows up, and he is paranoid. Searches Anthony's car thoroughly, pats him down, muttering about the FBI watching him, how he can't trust the police. Anthony's trying to stay cool, worried he's about to be found out. Anthony's somehow keeping it together, asks him, why are you so worried about the FBI? And Liam just drops it. His response, it's about killing Sarah. Right there in the car, Liam just confesses everything. He says about 2 months earlier, Sarah had taken him to her mom's old vacation house after she'd had a fight with her dad. And that's where they found this treasure chest full of old cash. Sarah planned to deposit it.
And that discovery, that hidden money, that was the spark. Liam confessed that's when he got the idea. He felt entitled to it, felt Sarah should share it. When she didn't or wasn't going to in the way he wanted, he decided to kill her for it. Oh. It's just a horrifying switch where greed completely overrides friendship, overrides basic humanity.
It's sickening. He talked about waiting for her to get the money out. And on December 2nd, the day she disappeared, she only withdrew $10,000. Not the $25,000 he'd initially told the police about or maybe hoped for. He admitted he was actually frustrated it wasn't more. It just shows how cold and calculated it was. So later that day, he's at Sarah's house around 4 p.m. He pretends he's leaving for work. As Sarah's seeing him out, he attacks her from behind, strangles her. He said she screamed, so he covered her mouth and nose with a shirt, suffocated her. And he chillingly told Anthony he actually timed how long it took for her to die. And get this, just unbelievably disturbing. He told Anthony that Sarah's dog, Buddy, was right there. Watched the whole thing happen, watched him kill her. And Liam said the dog couldn't do anything. He even said he regretted that it took so long. Just no remorse, none. After he killed her, he called Preston Taylor. Preston came over, helped him hide Sarah's body in some bushes outside while Liam went and finished his work shift. Liam told Anthony he felt nothing, no remorse at all. And money, even though it wasn't as much as he hoped, would be enough for some parties.
Then he warned Anthony, basically threatened him not to tell anyone. So now the police have this confession on tape. Undeniable. They go straight to Preston Taylor. February 1st, 2017, around 2 p.m. Faced with Liam's recorded words, Preston finally breaks. He confesses his part in it all.
Preston's confession is crucial. It confirms Liam's account and paints the full picture of the cover-up. It really shows how someone can be drawn into complicity, maybe through loyalty or fear, even in something this horrific. His statement fills in the gaps about moving the body and staging the scene.
Yeah, Preston confirms everything. Helped Liam carry Sarah's body out the back of her house, put her in Preston's car. Preston drove to the Charles River Bridge. Liam followed behind them, driving Sarah's Oldsmobile, the car they'd leave on the bridge. Once they were on the bridge, Liam apparently tried to throw Sarah's body over the railing himself, but couldn't manage it alone. It was too heavy or awkward. So Preston helped him. Together, they lifted her body and threw her into the dark river below. Then, they took the safe box, the one with the rest of the inheritance money, and hid it somewhere, in a lighthouse, apparently. Liam kept the key. Police arrest Liam almost immediately after Preston's confession. And sure enough, they find the key to that safe box on him. It seals the deal. Liam gets charged with first-degree murder. Preston, he's charged with aiding and abetting, things like desecration of human remains, hindering apprehension.
It's just devastating. You think about the trust involved. A childhood friend, someone practically like family, betrayed like this for money. It makes you question how well you can ever truly know someone.
It really does. And Sarah's dad, obviously heartbroken, he completely refuted Liam's story about them having this huge fight. He shared texts from just the day before she disappeared. He was at Disney World, sent her a picture of the castle at night. She texted back, "Wow, Dad, it's so beautiful." Just a normal, loving exchange. He said his only concern about Canada was her safety, being alone so far away. It wasn't some big blow-up fight like Liam claimed. In the end, Liam McAtasney was found guilty, sentenced to life in prison. Preston Taylor got 18 years for his role. But for Sarah's family, her friends, the community, the pain is still there. Her body, despite all the searches, has never been recovered from the river. On what would have been her 22nd birthday, March 24th, 2019, her dad, friends, people from the community, they all gathered on that bridge, left flowers, photos, a really sad tribute right at the place where her life was stolen by people she trusted. The whole community felt that loss. Wow. This story, Sarah Stern's story, it just leaves you feeling, I don't know, heavy, loss, disbelief. It's such a stark, awful reminder that sometimes the darkest secrets and motives can be hidden in plain sight, even within friendships we think are solid. That level of betrayal, just for money, it's hard to wrap your head around.
It really is. And the Sarah Stern case, it forces you to think about trust, doesn't it? How fragile it can be. And the destructive power of greed when it warps someone you thought you knew. It's a sobering look at the hidden depths people can sink to.
A chilling thought. Definitely something to mull over. Maybe ask yourself, could there have been signs? Subtle shifts in those friendships that hinted at the darkness beneath. How does knowing the truth, the real motive, change how we see everything that came before? Thank you for joining us for this deep dive. We really hope exploring this gave you a better understanding of this incredibly complex and heartbreaking case. If you found this discussion valuable or just want to support what we do, please take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to our channel, Horror Docs. We'll be back with more deep dives into these kinds of fascinating and often very unsettling true stories.